in the heart of Africa, where the sun shows no mercy, where there is no place for the weak. Lions roar, claiming their power in the darkness. Cheetahs sprint, where speed decides life and death. Crocodiles lie still beneath the water, waiting. A world of power, competition, and the most brutal battle among predators. Welcome to the Wild African Savanna, where beauty and brutality walk side by side, where the line between life and death is thinner than you think. If you're looking forward to discovering more incredible mysteries, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel and help us bring you more meaningful journeys into the wild. And now, let's begin the journey. The savanna, that hidden heartbeat of wildlife pulsing in all its untamed splendor, stretches endlessly beneath skies that seem to hold the memory of every dawn that came before. In the vast and desolate plains of the African savanna, the sun awakens slowly, almost reluctantly, casting a golden light that stains the horizon with warm and vibrant tones, as though the sky itself were being painted anew each morning. As its first rays caress the landscape with a tenderness that belies the harshness to come, the shadows of the night gradually recede, revealing a vast and wild stage where every being that inhabits these lands must face a new day in an eternal cycle of survival. A cycle written into the marrow of every creature long before it drew its first breath. This implacable terrain grants no truces and no privileges, for it recognizes neither favorites nor exceptions. Here, life and death are intertwined in a delicate balance dictated by the ancient rules of nature. Rules refined across countless generations of trial and instinct, where every choice, however small, can mean the difference between moving forward and perishing beneath the weight of an unforgiving land. Although to the inexperienced eye the savanna may seem calm, almost static in its serene and sweeping beauty, in reality it is a perpetual machine in motion, vibrant, restless, and endlessly complex in its workings. Every blade of grass swaying in the wind carries a quiet message. Every shadow cast by the scattered acacia trees conceals a possibility. And every distant echo of footsteps or squawking calls is woven into an intricate natural symphony that never truly falls silent. It is a place where silence is never absolute, and where every sound, however faint, tells a story worth listening to. The rustle of leaves can reveal the presence of a predator on the prowl, its muscles coiled with patient intent, while the whisper of the wind carries with it the echoes of creatures in motion, following instincts as old as time itself and as reliable as the turning of the seasons. In the savanna, everything is bound together by an invisible thread, and nothing exists in true isolation. Water, that most precious and unforgiving of resources, quietly guides the steps of the plains giants, dictating their paths long before the first footprint is ever laid. Elephants, with their heavy and majestic pace, follow secret routes etched into memory, pathways learned and passed down from previous generations across decades of wandering. Yet they are far from the only creatures bound to this fragile dependency. Zebras and antelopes, too, understand instinctively that water brings with it both salvation and danger in equal measure, a paradox that governs every visit to the water's edge. In the nearby shadows, crocodiles lie motionless, their armored bodies camouflaged seamlessly against the muddy banks, patient and unblinking, waiting with ancient calculation for the perfect moment to strike at their unsuspecting victims. As night falls, an extraordinary event begins to unfold in another part of the sprawling savanna. Under the pale wash of moonlight, a river of life begins to run, thick and unstoppable across the darkened plain. Thousands upon thousands of wildebeests and zebras begin their legendary migration. A movement so vast, it seems to reshape the very land beneath them. This epic annual journey, spanning hundreds of kilometers across open country, stands as one of nature's greatest displays of motion and collective will. Guided by the oldest instinct of all, the need to find food and water before the land withers, these herbivores embark upon the journey with a determination that defies every danger lying in wait. The migration is not merely a change of location. It is a grueling test of endurance and survival that spares no one. Wildebeests and zebras must cross crocodile-infested rivers, face prides of hungry lions lurking along the route, and endure physical exhaustion that pushes their bodies to the very limit. Not everyone will make it to the other side, but those who do will ensure the continuity of their species within this endless and unbroken cycle of life. Crossing the rivers is perhaps the single most dramatic moment of the entire migration. Crocodiles, creatures capable of going weeks without a single meal, wait with eerie patience in the dark and murky waters below. For them, the migration arrives as an annual feast they are simply not willing to let pass by. The wildebeests, sensing the danger that awaits, crowd together along the banks, waiting nervously for the herd's collective momentum to push them forward into the water. Panic spreads rapidly among them the moment the first animals leap into the river, setting off a wave of frantic movement that soon draws thousands of individuals into its current. The water quickly becomes a chaos of thrashing bodies straining to reach the far shore. Some wildebeests are seized by powerful crocodiles whose jaws snap shut with tremendous force around their legs and necks, dragging them down into the murky depths below. Yet most of the migrants manage to reach the opposite shore, utterly exhausted, but alive nonetheless. The more cautious zebras trail behind the wildebeests, taking full advantage of the tumult to slip past unnoticed by the waiting crocodiles. This extraordinary spectacle unfolds as a dance of life and death, one in which only the strongest and swiftest ultimately survive. The migration carries significance not only for the wildebeests and zebras themselves, but equally for the predators scattered across the savanna. Lions, hyenas, and cheetahs all recognize this as their golden moment. Prey becomes abundant, and hunting opportunities multiply with every passing day. Across the open plains, the big cats seize the opportunity to stalk the stragglers, those animals left injured or simply too weak to keep pace with the herd's relentless rhythm. On the nights following a great migration, the roars of lions resonate louder and deeper than usual, as the sheer abundance of food allows them to eat their fill without struggle. With the arrival of dawn, the cycle continues once more, unbroken and eternal. However, the climate soon begins to harden, and the dry season sets in, ushering in one of the toughest and most unforgiving tests faced by the inhabitants of the savanna. Temperatures climb steadily, and water becomes an even more precious and fiercely contested commodity. In this scorching and merciless environment, only the fittest are destined to survive. The animals of the savanna, shaped by countless generations of adaptation, are remarkably designed to withstand the punishing heat. Many can go days on end without drinking a single drop of water, drawing the moisture they require instead from the plants they consume. Others, such as the elephants, desperately seek out hidden water holes buried beneath the parched earth, using their powerful tusks and dexterous trunks to dig through the dry soil until they uncover something that keeps them sufficiently hydrated. The big cats, by contrast, tend to avoid hunting during the hottest and most punishing hours of the day. They much prefer to stalk their prey at dawn or dusk, when the temperature finally drops enough to allow for a truly effective ambush. They can often be seen lying languidly in the shade of scattered trees, conserving precious energy while squinting keenly at the faint movements of possible prey somewhere in the shimmering distance. As the sun climbs to its highest point in the sky, an overwhelming heat presses down upon every creature scattered across the plain. The air grows thick and dense, heavy with the scent of parched earth and suspended dust that hangs shimmering in the light. In the center of the plain, the wind begins to shift ever so slightly, carrying with it the faint stories of struggles endured and survivals hard won. It stands as a constant reminder that on the savanna, every single day arrives as a gift, and every night carries within it the promise of new challenges yet to come. This wild and untamed land, with its sweeping vastness and implacable nature, is far more than a mere landscape. It is a living stage upon which every creature, whether great or small, plays out its part within an eternal and unbroken cycle. There are no favorites here, and there are no certainties to cling to. Everything can change in the span of an instant. And it is precisely this unpredictability that makes life on the savanna so hypnotic, so utterly captivating to witness. It is the endless story of life and death unfolding side by side, where the protagonists are always moving, always fighting, always clinging fiercely to being alive. The day advances steadily, and beneath the scorching sky, the savanna gradually transforms into a stage of long shadows and furtive, calculated movements. Although to the inexperienced eye, everything may appear calm and still, the savanna's predators know instinctively that this is the moment to plan their attacks with care. The slightest mistake can prove fatal in an instant. Prey can slip away in a heartbeat, and a lost opportunity could translate into days of gnawing hunger. The lion, majestic and formidably powerful, stands undoubtedly among the savanna's most fearsome predators. Its royal, dark mane serves not only as a symbol of dominance, but also as a stark warning to any rival who might dare to challenge its authority. Yet hunting, though a fundamental part of the lion's existence, is not a task entrusted to the male. The pride's females, expert strategists and seasoned hunters in their own right, carry upon their shoulders the heavy responsibility of feeding the entire group. In the hours before dusk, when the air begins to cool and the colors of the sky bleed into shades of orange and deep purple, the lionesses prepare methodically for the hunt ahead. It is a meticulous process that blends patience, stealth, and an almost flawless sense of coordination among the group. They fan out slowly, moving like silent shadows through the tall swaying grass, all the while fixing their focused attention on a group of zebras grazing quietly some distance away. Communication between them remains almost imperceptible, as though they shared some secret, unspoken language of their own. A slight tilt of the head, a subtle flick of the tail, and the entire plan is quietly set into motion. The wind favors them this time, carrying the scent of the zebras directly toward the hunters while masking their own presence entirely. The tension hanging in the air feels almost tangible, as though even the landscape itself were holding its breath, waiting for the outcome. Yet despite their considerable skill, lions are never guaranteed victory in this deadly game. Zebras, always alert and finely tuned to danger, possess impressive agility along with a survival instinct that renders them genuinely formidable in flight. A single small mistake on the part of the lionesses could hand the zebras the perfect opportunity to escape unscathed. But even should the prey manage to evade that first decisive attack, failure remains an option the hunters simply cannot afford. Should they fail to secure their dinner, the hyenas, which have trailed them patiently since dawn, will waste no time in seizing any opportunity to snatch away whatever spoils remain. And higher still in the sky above, marabou storks and vultures have already begun to circle, silently foreshadowing the drama that is about to unfold below. The first to break into motion is a young lioness. With astonishing speed, she lunges toward the grazing group of zebras, carefully singling out her target, a young foal that has fallen behind the rest. Chaos erupts in an instant across the plain. The zebras scatter in every direction, their hooves kicking up billowing clouds of dust as they neigh desperately into the darkening air. Some attempt to take refuge among the thorny bushes nearby, while others zigzag frantically in a bid to confuse their determined pursuer. Yet, the young lioness does not find her task easy in the slightest. The chosen zebra, driven by pure instinct and raw fear, executes an unexpected turn and manages to evade the initial strike entirely. But the calm does not linger for long. Within mere seconds, two more lionesses join the chase, closing the circle tightly around the foal, which barely has time to react before feeling the full weight of its hunters bearing down upon its body. Their claws sink deep into the flank of their prey, marking the swift and brutal end of the hunt. What follows next is a brutal yet strangely fascinating spectacle, one in which the sheer efficiency of the lionesses becomes plainly evident. They tear through flesh and break bone with practiced precision, ensuring they consume enough sustenance before other competitors arrive on the scene. In the surrounding shadows, hyenas growl with mounting impatience, waiting restlessly for their own chance. And when the lionesses finally step aside, satisfied at last, the scavengers descend swiftly upon the remains. Marabou storks and vultures, with their clumsy yet strangely calculated movements, join the feast as well, disputing every last piece of meat with the waiting hyenas. Everything dissolves into a frenzy of activity, a vivid reminder that on the savannah, nothing is ever truly wasted. Each fragment of life feeds another in turn, ensuring that the great cycle continues onward. As the sun finally disappears below the horizon and the shadows of night take firm hold of the landscape, calm slowly begins to return once more. The lionesses retreat toward their territory, leaving behind a stage that will soon be swallowed whole by the silence of darkness. The hyenas, marabous, and vultures finish their banquet at last, and the remains of the day become sustenance for tomorrow's survivors. The savannah, with its raw and untamed beauty, continues along its immutable course regardless. Within it, hunting is never merely an act of survival, but rather a ritual that binds all creatures together within a delicate and enduring balance. One that ensures life persists across these wild and unconquered lands. In this raw and unflinchingly honest world, there is no room for weakness, no shelter for hesitation, and no mercy for those who falter even for an instant. Every being, from the smallest insect to the largest grazing giant, fights for one singular purpose, and that purpose is survival above all else. The savannah is not merely a place upon a map. It is a living testament to the resilience and constant struggle that defines existence in its purest and most unadorned form. Here, every sunrise is a quiet reminder that life itself is both a privilege and a challenge, a gift that must be earned anew with each passing day. The cool morning air still retains the lingering stillness of the night when, far in the distance, a herd of zebras begins its long and weary pilgrimage across the open plain. The ground rumbles softly under the rhythm of their hooves, an echo of ancient migrations that have sculpted and reshaped this landscape for countless millennia. Behind them, concealed within the dappled shadows of the acacia bushes, predators lie in patient wait, their senses sharpened by hunger and instinct alike. For the lion, the undisputed king of these sun-scorched lands, every day unfolds as a hunting game, a deadly and graceful ballet in which skill, patience, and stealth serve as its only currency for survival. Although the great cat's claws are formidably sharp and its roar instills genuine terror across the plain, the competition for sustenance remains fierce and unrelenting. Jackals, hyenas, and cheetahs all compete within this wild and sprawling theater for the very same reward, that being meat. The currency upon which every predator's continued existence ultimately depends. A short distance from the hunting site, a herd of elephants advances with a steady, calm, and majestic pace, for whom the cycle of hunting predators is simply part of the background landscape, far removed from their own immediate concerns. However, these giants of the savanna face their own challenges, and despite their colossal physical size, severe water scarcity remains their true enemy. With every step they take toward the distant watering holes, elephants demonstrate astonishing intelligence and spatial memory. The herd's matriarch, an elderly female with large, yellowed ivory tusks, guides her family along a path she has traversed countless times over many decades. She knows that in times of intense drought, these watering holes become highly dangerous zones, where massive crocodiles lurk in the waters and large predators can attempt to separate and attack the most vulnerable calves. Still, the physiological need for water outweighs any danger, and the matriarch must guide her herd to the nearest source, located several kilometers away. On the dry savanna, the search for water is a life-or-death task, and their survival depends entirely on their ability to remember the locations of waterholes that still contain water in the driest months of the year. This vast and complex memory allows them not only to find those places, but also to teach younger generations the secret, life-saving routes. The calves, although playful and innocent, quickly learn the steady rhythm of the march, the value of following their elders, and the danger of straying too far from the protective herd. When the herd finally arrives at the watering hole, some elephants drink desperately, submerging their trunks in the murky water and splashing cool mud over their skin to protect it from the sun, while others remain vigilant, observing the waters with calculating eyes. The ground surrounding the watering hole is riddled with overlapping tracks of lions, giraffes, gazelles, and crocodiles. But the matriarch has lived long enough to know all of the hunter's tricks, keeping the young ones in the safest, shallowest part of the watering hole where the risk of ambush is lowest. In the same plains where elephants inhabit, there is also the cheetah, renowned as the fastest runner in the animal kingdom, whose life is marked by agility, precision, and rapid adaptability. It primarily inhabits the savannas and grasslands of Africa, although a small, critically endangered population is still found in Iran. This feline is easily recognizable by its slender, aerodynamic figure, its golden fur speckled with solid black spots, and its characteristic dark tear tracks on the eyes that help reduce the blinding solar glare while it hunts. The cheetah can reach speeds of up to 112 kilometers per hour in brief bursts of 20 to 30 seconds, a vital physical ability used to catch its prey, which typically consists of small antelopes like impalas or gazelles. However, this impressive sprinting skill comes at a heavy physical cost, as after each chase, the cheetah requires a prolonged rest period to lower its body temperature and recover. Its hunting technique combines silent stealth and a sudden, explosive attack, lunging from a short distance toward its target with lethal precision. Cheetahs are solitary animals or live in small family groups, such as a female with her cubs or coalitions of brother males. The females raise their cubs entirely alone, teaching them to hunt and survive in a hostile environment plagued by larger predators like lions, hyenas, and leopards that represent a constant danger to the young. Although the cheetah is a global symbol of grace and speed, its existence is in grave danger due to loss of habitat, poaching, and the decrease in prey populations, which have drastically reduced its numbers. Currently, it is estimated that fewer than 7,000 individuals remain in the wild, and active conservation projects work hard to protect this magnificent feline, whose future depends on harmonious coexistence with humans and the preservation of its natural habitat. As night falls, the lion's roar resonates across the plains once again, but this time with a different chilling tone. It is a roar of authority and absolute dominance over the night. Smaller animals stop for a moment to listen, carefully measuring the distance of the sound, as the wisest already know that on the dark savanna, the best defense is not speed, but constant, focused attention to the sounds of the environment. A group of zebras advances in single file with their white and black stripes barely visible in the twilight, remaining far more alert than during the day, because they know that spotted hyenas usually hunt in cooperative groups when the sun hides. In the darkness, all animals, predators, and prey alike must rely on more than just sight, turning their hearing and sense of smell into their best allies to navigate the shadows. Very close to the zebras, among the treetops and the rocky ground, are baboon monkeys belonging to the Papio genus. They are fascinating primates that inhabit various regions of Africa and parts of Arabia, possessing an adaptability that allows them to thrive in a variety of ecosystems, from open savannas and forests to mountainous and arid regions. These social primates are known for their complex behavior and hierarchical structures that determine their daily interactions. Baboons live in large groups called troops that can include from a few dozen to more than 100 individuals, within which there is a strict social hierarchy both among males and females that directly influences access to food resources and mates. Males compete for dominance positions through physical confrontations and strategic alliances, while females maintain more stable and hereditary relationships, passing their social rank to their offspring. Regarding their diet, baboons are highly opportunistic omnivores, feeding on fruits, leaves, roots, and insects. And they do not hesitate to take advantage of human crops, which often puts them in conflict with local farming communities. A notable characteristic of baboons is their communication, utilizing a combination of vocalizations, facial expressions, and body postures to coordinate group movements and express emotions such as alarm, submission, or aggression. While their high intelligence allows them to solve problems, use basic tools, and develop successful strategies for survival. Near a giant termite mound, a group of warthogs, those rustic-looking wild pigs, dig the dry ground with their powerful tusks in search of roots and small insects to eat, paying little attention to their surroundings. However, they are not alone, as mounted on their thick backs is a small squad of birds known as starlings, who are more than just passengers. They are part of a symbiotic society in which both animals benefit mutually. While the warthogs feed, they stir up dust and drive away small insects and parasites, allowing the starlings to feast on these bugs while keeping the coat of their mammalian companions clean. This type of collaboration is not exclusive to the warthog. Massive buffaloes, which usually move in large herds, also have their own army of winged helpers that free them from ticks and other annoying parasites. And even powerful rhinoceroses, those solitary giants, allow small birds called oxpeckers to clean their rough skin. These relationships, invisible to a casual observer, are essential to maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem, demonstrating how species find ways to thrive in an environment where competition for resources is fierce. In a nearby clearing, a colony of meerkats unfolds in a perfectly synchronized choreography. Known for their cooperative behavior, these small animals take the task of surveillance very seriously. While some dig burrows or search for insects, others remain upright on their hind legs, with eyes wide open, scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. Meerkats know that an eagle or a jackal can appear at any moment and cannot afford the luxury of being caught by surprise. The life of meerkats is a constant act of balance, where their underground burrows protect them from both the scorching heat of the day and from nocturnal predators. However, their main threat comes from the sky, as hawks and eagles patrol the savanna from above, and a distracted meerkat is easy prey. When one of the sentinels detects a predator, it emits a sharp whistle that puts the entire colony on alert, causing the meerkats to disappear underground in the blink of an eye, leaving the hunters without their prize. Despite their small size, meerkats have developed a complex and organized society that allows them to survive in a hostile environment, proving that on the savanna, strength does not always reside in physical size or individual power, but in the ability to cooperate and share responsibilities. In the distant landscape, a solitary giraffe roams the flat plains with slow, elegant, and almost mechanical steps, its long neck rising high among the green acacia crowns like a physical bridge to skyward heights. From that privileged, elevated height, It observes the surrounding terrain with a beautiful mixture of serene calm and constant vigilance, as if it were the quiet sentinel of a lost primeval kingdom that still guards secrets in every hidden corner. Its towering figure, bathed in the rich golden light of dawn, is silhouetted sharply against the warm horizon, casting a long, elegant shadow that seems to stretch to infinity. Although its walk seems almost mystical, a symbol of absolute calm and majesty, the giraffe is never exempt from the constant tension that defines daily life on the plains. Every movement is a calculated decision, and every pause is an act of physical balance between the need to feed on high branches and the urgency to stay alert. The acacia trees, with their branches full of fresh, moisture-rich leaves, offer an irresistible feast, but they can also hide invisible dangers in the undergrowth below. The giraffe, with its large, dark eyes always in motion, continuously explores its surroundings in search of any warning signal that could disturb the apparent peace. Despite its imposing physical size, even these giants are not entirely safe from harm. Predators know that a single moment of carelessness can be enough to turn the giraffe's height advantage into its greatest physical vulnerability. However, it does not run in panic. Its strategy is not a hasty, chaotic flight, but rather patience, quiet dignity, and focused attention. Its ears rotate independently to the rhythm of the savanna's subtle sounds, catching even the slightest rustle in the dry grass. From its elevated perspective, it seems to dominate the landscape, but in reality, it is deeply part of it. One more essential piece in the intricate mosaic of life, where every step it takes is a reminder of the delicate dance between majesty and fragility. Down on the ground, beneath the roots of dry bushes and in the deep cracks of volcanic rocks, a constant and nearly invisible activity maintains the vital heartbeat of the ecosystem. Here, the small warriors of the soil work tirelessly, playing fundamental, irreplaceable roles in the balance of nature. Among them, dung beetles stand out as tiny, heroic architects of the soil, pushing with immense perseverance balls of animal excrement that are often much larger than themselves. Although this daily scene might seem trivial or even funny to an observer, their task is absolutely crucial for the health of the entire environment. Armed with impressive physical strength for their size, these small insects transform organic waste into a powerful tool to fertilize the soil. By burying these balls of dung, they enrich the earth with essential nitrogen and nutrients, promoting the growth of fresh vegetation and helping to close the natural cycles of organic matter. Furthermore, by rapidly decomposing waste, they prevent the dangerous proliferation of pests and disease-carrying flies, protecting both plant life and grazing animals in their environment. The The work of these dung beetles is not limited to what is visible on the surface, as their constant digging also contributes to the aeration of the hard soil, improving its physical structure and allowing deep plant roots to better absorb seasonal water and nutrients. These little heroes work in complete silence, but their ecological impact is felt throughout the ecosystem, demonstrating that in nature, even the humblest acts have a transcendental meaning. But it is not only the large, majestic animals that make up this incredibly complicated web of life. For beneath the shadows of the thickets and the scorching midday heat, tiny weaver ants display an amazing feat of natural engineering by building their suspended nests high among the branches of trees. These tiny, industrious architects not only use living green leaves as their raw material, but also employ delicate silk threads produced by their own developing larvae to stitch them tightly together, creating complex structures that combine immense strength and flexible resilience. Each suspended nest is a testament to collective effort and the meticulous, flawless coordination of these small creatures that work tirelessly to ensure the stability of their colony, even in the most adverse weather conditions. The work of these weaver ants is not limited to their impressive architectural skill, as their social organization remains a model of absolute efficiency and collaboration. The workers distribute tasks with remarkable precision, with some dedicated entirely to gathering food from the forest canopy, while others patrol the perimeter to protect the colony from external threats. In a perfectly synchronized work ethic, they ensure that each growing larva is safe and well fed, thus guaranteeing the long-term continuity of their species. This level of complex cooperation demonstrates that even the smallest organisms possess social systems that defy our standard understanding. Beyond their own survival, weaver ants play a fundamental role in the balance of the ecosystem, as their nests offer refuge to other small species, while also acting as an essential food source for insectivorous birds and small predators, integrating themselves deeply into the intricate food web, and reminding us that even the smallest forms of life have a profound impact on the natural world. Very close by are termites, often recognized by scientists as key ecosystem engineers. They play a crucial, positive role in nature, although they are frequently viewed as pests in human areas due to their ability to devour wood and cause structural damage. These tiny, ancient creatures, which have existed on Earth for millions of years, live in highly organized colonies that can house anywhere from a few hundred to several millions of individuals, all working in perfect synchrony to ensure the survival of the group. Life inside a termite mound is structured into well-defined, highly specialized castes: the queen, the king, the soldiers, and the workers. The queen, whose body can reach impressive, swollen sizes in comparison to the rest of the colony, is the main individual responsible for reproduction, laying thousands of eggs daily to sustain the population. Beside her, the king remains in the royal chamber, ensuring the perpetuation of the colony. The soldiers are in charge of actively protecting the nest with their powerful jaws or chemical defensive secretions, while the numerous workers carry out all the essential daily tasks, such as building tunnels, gathering food, and caring for the young. These creatures do not merely consume wood. They decompose dead organic matter, such as dry leaves and roots, facilitating nutrient recycling in the dry soil. Their elaborate networks of tunnels and tall underground mounds improve soil quality by aerating it and allowing rainwater and nutrients to be distributed more evenly, demonstrating that even the smallest beings can have a gigantic impact on the world we share. But it is not only large and small animals that survive in this great web of life. For birds, like weavers, are a fascinating group of passerines known for their ability to build intricate and resistant nests. These birds, which belong mainly to the Ploxidae family, inhabit tropical and subtropical regions of Africa, Asia, and parts of Oceania. And their name comes from the skill they show in interweaving leaves, branches, and plant fibers to form structures that defy both the weather and predators. The nests of weaver birds are not only a refuge, but also a tool to attract mates, where the males, who are generally the main builders, spend hours or even days making elaborate nests that they exhibit to impress the females. If the nest does not meet the female standards, it may be rejected, forcing the male to rebuild it or start a new one. There are more than 100 species of weaver birds, including the masked weaver and the village weaver. And some species, such as social weavers, build giant communal nests where hundreds of birds live together in an intricate network of chambers, a cooperative behavior that offers greater protection against predators. These birds have varied diets that include seeds, insects, and nectar, and their ability to adapt to different habitats, from savannas and forests to urban areas, makes them a successful species, demonstrating how nature combines skill, cooperation, and design to ensure survival. Sharing the same habitat, we find the African ostrich, the largest bird in the world and an iconic symbol of the vast plains of Africa. With a height that can exceed 2.5 meters and a weight of up to 150 kilograms, these flightless birds are a prodigy of evolutionary adaptation. Their long legs, designed for speed, allow them to reach up to 70 kilometers per hour, making them exceptional runners capable of escaping predators like lions and cheetahs. Ostriches possess soft and dense plumage, with males showing a striking contrast between black and white feathers, while females sport more muted tones for camouflage. Their diet is omnivorous, composed mainly of plants, seeds, and insects, complemented by small stones that they swallow to facilitate digestion in their gizzard. They live in groups that vary from small family nuclei to large flocks in the dry season, And during reproduction, males build nests on the ground where several females deposit their huge eggs, which are the largest in the animal kingdom. Although they face threats such as hunting and loss of habitat, ostriches remain fascinating witnesses to Africa's rich biodiversity, a living reminder of the majesty of their natural environment. As another cycle of wildlife comes to an end, the savanna reveals its deepest essence. It is a place where life and death are intertwined in a perpetual dance. And the creatures that inhabit this vast landscape are not mere actors in a natural play. They are the heirs to a millennial legacy of adaptation, resilience, and survival. The savanna is more than an expanse of wild nature. It is a reminder of the fragility of life and the amazing power of nature, where every creature, from the tiniest insects to the majestic elephants, plays a crucial role in the delicate balance that keeps this ecosystem alive. And although the rules of the savanna are implacable, they are also full of strange beauty, a harmony that resonates with the very essence of life. The African savanna does not teach us gentleness. It teaches a law older than any civilization: live or die, eat or be eaten, adapt or vanish. Every hunt, every blood-soaked river crossing, every calf left behind by the herd, stands as a reminder that nature holds no mercy. It favors no one and spares no one. Yet this very cruelty is the thread that holds all things in balance, the quiet but relentless pulse that has sustained life on this land for millions of years. But amid these countless battles for survival, there is one threat the savanna has never faced in its entire evolutionary history: humankind. Not drought, not the claws of a lion, but the hand of man. Through poaching, habitat destruction, and climate change, is quietly breaking cycles that have existed for millennia. Cheetahs, symbols of speed and freedom, now number fewer than 7,000 in the wild. Elephants, the great architects of the savanna, are steadily losing the ancient migratory paths that human boarders have carved across their land. Even the Great Migration itself, the natural wonder that once made the earth tremble beneath thousands of hooves, is no longer immune to human interference. For this reason, conservation is not a luxury. It is an urgent responsibility. Protecting the savanna does not mean interfering with its inherent, ruthless laws, but rather preserving the space in which those laws can continue to unfold naturally, undistorted by human greed or indifference. Every protected reserve established, every anti-poaching policy enforced, every local community empowered to coexist harmoniously with wildlife, is another small brick laid toward this land's future. And amid the losses, hope still remains, Elephant herds continue to walk the paths their ancestors left behind. Lions still roar through the night, claiming their place in this wild land. Cheetah cubs are still taught by their mothers how to run, how to hunt, how to survive. As long as the savanna still breathes, the door to hope remains open. The future of wild Africa does not lie in humanity's control over nature, but in humanity's willingness to step back, to show respect, and to let nature remain exactly what it has always been: brutal, beautiful, and eternal, just as it was since the dawn of time.